Well, as you can see, the axles are on the floor here. I have drained the fluid pretty much out of the block and the radiator. To drain the radiator, you take off the bottom hose down here, the big hose off the radiator, take it off at the pump, and then you also need to take the hose just above that on the water pump on the other side of the thermostat, which is actually the return / bypass line for the heater, to get the rest of the water out, because thermostat, with it being cold and closed, contains the water up inside all those hoses and everything. So you go ahead and pop that hose loose and let it drain out as well. I didn't make too much of a mess on the floor. Just a little bit around my bucket. I'll go ahead and clean that up. Next step, we're going to go ahead and take the radiator out, and then probably the alternator over there, and maybe some wires and this and that. Need to take the wires loose. Got to take the speedometer cable here, or actually this is the clutch cable, off of the throwout arm down here. And you have to take the speedometer cable, which is back here, out. The backup lights off, wires off the switch. And then I'll go ahead and take the mounts loose. There's one bolt actually on the mount at the transmission down here that has the ground strap attached, so that has to come off. And then pretty much we'll take this thing out of here. So I'll go ahead and disconnect some of this stuff. And I guess I'll come back when I've got the hoist in place. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Just a quick look here. You can see I got a bunch of sawdust down there to clean up my little bit of a mess there. And we'll dispose of that later. Pretty much got everything out of here. Radiator, all the wires and stuff are just hanging around. You notice I don't label anything. Basically, I figure if you can't decide where they go, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. Anyway, it's always a lesson, but I always manage to get it back together. Got the filter hanging over there off to the side. Speedometer cable. Always want to cover that up, keep it clean. And the same goes for the fuel connection off of the injector pump. You want to keep that clean. I always just bag it up, throw a little bit of MIG wire around to tie it, get it up out of the way. We're pretty well ready to take off the major mounts and get this out of here. Just waiting for my sawdust to soak up that little bit of antifreeze that was on the floor. And then I'll just be taking the mounts loose, the exhaust loose, and this one last vacuum line here, and take it out of here. So as soon as I get my mess cleaned up, the hoist in place, and start loosening things up, I'll be back. Well, we're back again. Hoist in place, got a chain hooked up here. It's got a place on the head on that side to hook to, and there's a bracket on the other side to hook to. Anyway, and I think you can see, got the chain up and over and down. What's left now, I've got everything underneath undone. We have the one mount right down here. Right down here. That's a 17 millimeter. And then bring it around the other side here. We've got another one right down here in behind, 17 millimeter. Same deal, that's it. And then we're free. So I'll set you up over here on a shelf. Got a shelf set up. Maybe we can do this. And you can watch me smash my fingers or whatever I'm going to do. Anyway, here we go. We'll go for the more difficult one to start with. I may have to get down underneath to get at it, I'm not 100% sure. Grab a socket here and a couple sizes of extensions. We'll bring a short one and a medium. And see if we can't do this here. Give it a shot from up top here first. I don't know if you can see me or not. Hopefully I got that camera in the right place. See if I can get on that thing, get it broken loose. The mount that's on the car has a nut inside of a slot on the far side, and then it's just a great big long bolt that runs through the rubber bushing. It's attached to the engine, and it looks like I'm going to have to go at it from underneath. We'll have to wait and see here. Let me try something else. Got it broke free, so grab some air and spin that thing out of there. Candidate for an extension at this point. Most of the channels I watch on YouTube have to do more with body work and this and that. That's something I'm attempting to learn. Mechanical work is generally pretty simple. If your mind works that way, then you can do it. Some people, their mind just doesn't work that way, but if you can see how things work, it's pretty simple to take them apart and put them back together. Pressure on it. Generally you can turn these all the way back out on the threads. This one here is not doing it for me, however. Give it one more shot. To come out that way. Well, go ahead and we'll take the other side out. It's just a matter of getting the two bolts pulled loose and lower the engine down. These engines do not come out the top, they have to drop down to the floor and you slide them out from underneath. Okay, there's one of them. Some people do the bag and tag. I just throw them in a container, no tag. Once in a while I label what car they came from. But rabbit parts are rabbit parts, so I just look in buckets till I find rabbit parts and dig out what I need. can get this one out of here now. Oh yeah. Okay, so this engine now is free, hanging on the chain. So now we have to get it down to the ground, and then we'll have to jack the car up a little higher. I have my hoist here set up on a short fulcrum, so I could use a longer chain, which allows me to lower it further down to the ground without running into the core support here. So we'll start to set it down and see what we got. A little bit gentle here. Generally takes a little bit of rattle, a little bit of reposition then to keep from getting hung up on other items down below. And we don't want to come up into the tensioner pulley here with this mount, so we have to push her back that way, kind of rotate it around as we drop. Go ahead and bring it down a little more, another inch or two. There we go. Pull it back this way, pull it back towards the driver's side. Away. Move that linkage out of the way as far as you can get so you don't hang up on your exhaust manifold. Looks pretty good there. Pretty well free over there. Bring it on down, give it a little more of a turn here. Okay, we're just about down to the stand there, to the engine hoist. Okay. Okay, we're down there now. We're completely free of the car. Give you a shot of that. I think we're still recording here. Can't really see, I guess. So we're down here now, sitting on the floor pretty well. Still a little bit on the chains there. What I have to do is turn the engine and set it down between the legs of my engine hoist here, in between. Then I can get the hoist out of there, and then I'll just slide that engine back out from underneath. I'll probably have to jack the car up again a little more. I think I'll put you back over here now. See how that works out. Well, we'll see if that's any good. Here we go. Okay, we're down on the floor and free of the hoist now.